Today we are at the Tama Lakes, which is on the saddle between Ngauruhoe volcano and Ruapehu. That's the tallest peak in the North Island of New Zealand, big volcano in the Tongariro National Park. And these lakes were formed because there were huge volcanic explosions. These explosions happened in a landscape that had already been sculpted by glaciers. So there's a combination here of moraines and glacial features which have been overprinted by these volcanic explosions about 10,000 years ago. So we're standing here on a high point above the upper Tama Lake, and it's a good viewpoint over the area. It's a nice walk to follow the ridge line up here and then to continue along it to circumnavigate the lower lake. So there are these two lakes, but as you can see there are several craters that kind of interlock in places. Some are filled with water but others not. And so one thing you can do when you're here is to look around you as you're walking and see how many craters there are that you can identify. This upper Tama Lake is surrounded by cliffs of lava that are between 180 and 250,000 years old. This makes them some of the oldest volcanic rocks in the Tongariro area. On the other hand, the cone of Ngauruhoe is relatively young. It's only about 7,000 years old, and it will have buried many of the older rocks that had been erupted earlier. Looking at the lower Tama Lake, the south rim is actually made up of 40,000-year-old lavas that came down off Ruapehu. Another thing to say is just that some of the volcanic material that was blasted out of these craters is actually found up to 3 kilometers away from them, which gives some idea of the violence and the power of these eruptions that created these beautiful landforms.